the grain on this table is gonna be awesome because the design is to attempt to book match, but then reverse book match it and try and line them up. So then the sapwood of each slab will line up and merge. So then you'll have this kind of like curved line between as you go through the table, but then on each side of that is going to be this dancing feather, and it's going to be like this swirling of energy as you just, I hope you just stand in front of it, you're just like, wow. I mean, that's how I feel every time I look at these slabs. It's just like, wow. And these are like, and they're awesome cuts too. They're right down the center of the tree, which means, you know, the wood is settled, so it's cracked quite a bit. But I'm cool with cracks because it also tells you the story of the tree. This is the center of the tree. So all these little nubs, these were once branches that the tree used, you know, as it was growing up. Then it shed them and moved on. And, you know, there's a branch there that it let go, and then it grew and it healed over. And it's just like, it's fun to look at the story of these trees. I mean, you can't go 150 years without accumulating like an incredible story. Nature is the real artist. This is easy woodworking. This table is going to look awesome. I really can't mess this up, which is why it's so much fun, because this is beautiful. You know, I can't even compare to creating anything design-wise that can look like this table will when it's done. And it's my job to just kind of like, you know, put them together the way they should be and give them a good second life, because this tree deserves it. It's going to be a doozy. The table's going to be awesome. It's going to be an 8-seater, two people on each end, so you can sit in pairs, 2 and 2. And maybe you can get 3, so 2 and then 3, so 9, 8, 10-seater, potentially 10-seater. I don't know about that. Depends on the size of the chair. But I made the table base, and it's pretty cool too. It's got some fun joinery. I get to have at least a little fun design-wise with the table base. The tabletop is like, you know, I don't want to put anything sculptural on here. I thought about it for a while. I was like going to put some, you know, some either human figure or the heads of the sisters, because they're called sister slabs when they're cut in sequence, which is a really beautiful term. But it was all just too distracting from this table. This doesn't need anything done. So the table base is ready. This is about to get put onto the CNC, which is a big moment, because you only get one shot. And but I think it's going to go great, and I'm so excited to see what this wood looks like with the finish. For years, 3 years, I've been doing this. I walk by and I lick it and I touch it, and I just try and guess what this wood's going to look like with a finish. Because I've never worked with English elm, and it's like, it's fun. That moment of putting the finish on is going to be really exciting. I hope I can capture, some of the excitement that I feel in the video you're about to watch. The montage music, at least, the video you're about to watch, I think it's gonna be cool. I saw it, or I heard the music when I got these slabs like 3 years ago. And it was one of those things where when I heard the music, or like 2 years ago, I don't even remember, a while ago. For a long time, I've been playing the video out in my mind. I see it, it's like, boom, boom, boom. And it's a fun video, and I can't tell people about it, so it's like fun to finally be able to like show you and be like, this is gonna be cool. I mean, the table's gonna be awesome, but I just hope the video does this tree justice and lets you feel the impact of a piece. Because the hardest part about this medium is woodworking. The best way to enjoy woodworking is with your hands. And then also with your sixth sense, just feeling the energy of a piece. When you walk in to a room with real hardwood versus vinyl, you can feel it. There's a warmth, there's something to it. And when you design a piece, especially one as powerful as these two trees with slabs, there is like such a awesome thing that happens when those two are cared for and then presented in a way that's just like, I'm hoping to try and capture some of that magic in the video. It's all, I enjoy it. I have fun doing this stuff, so it doesn't even really matter. I love it. So I love you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's amazing. And it's this, without a doubt, is a showstopper. The crotch figure, showstopper. But the closer you look at this table, the more subtleties and peculiar details there are to just appreciate. Like, I've never worked with quarter sawn wood before. And quarter sawn wood is where you get these medullary rays. And they grow tangentially from the center of the tree. So you only see it on wood that's cut perfectly, like the center cuts of the flat sawn board, unless you're quarter sawing the log, but you don't do that with big slabs. So only the two center pieces of a tree are going to have the quarter sawn wood to share. And some woods have really strong rays or flecks or medullary rays, and like oak wood, you can see those from a mile away, and that's like one of their distinct features. Is why you use oak quarter sawn if you want to just add a little extra, grain beauty to the piece, especially rarity. But quarter sawn elm wood isn't. I mean, the flecks are small, but they're so beautiful. And what is awesome is that because it wasn't a perfect sphere, it's not always perfectly tangential to the grain. There's this fluidity as the grain comes in and out and into the tangential and then down. It's kind of like this wave of rays, and it's unbelievable. And everywhere you look, the more you see just these little bit of detail. It's really awesome. And the open pore wood of the grain. I hope you can see it, but like what that means is you can still see the grain even at a striking angle. So even with backlit, you still see the grain, and that is awesome. Some woods, if you sand really well and you finish, it just becomes kind of like a mirror almost if you put it in front of a window. This one, no matter what lighting, what angle, you will still be able to see the swirling grain, the pieces as they come, which is awesome. That's really cool. The table is going to look beautiful and different at different times of day. I just love that. What else? I mean, okay, so this tree, sanding it is when I really get to know a piece, because you're like really in there. All these little tree branches are just so awesome to look at and examine and think about how big the tree was at that time. And if it knew that at one point it was going to be this big, But also there's a nail, and that's an amazing story. Or it could be. We get to make it up. We get to guess. It's like archaeological work. I think it should be about 100 years ago, someone nailed a nail into this tree when it was only about this big. This is theorizing unless it was a really long nail, it's kind of hard to decipher this stuff, but that wouldn't make too much sense. So I'm going to say like 100 years ago, someone nailed a sign to this tree when it was just this big. So that means that it was probably a residential tree, and who knows what that sign could have been. But it's just like, that means probably then somebody lived close enough near this tree, potentially in that neighborhood, for a long stretch of time. And they might have even watched this tree grow. They might have even planted the tree. They might have been the ones who had it in their yard watering it. And it's just like, was this tree appreciated by humans? Did it have swings on it when it was big? Did kids play underneath it? I don't know. But it's so fun to think about. Oh, okay. To the future owner of this table, there is a secret compartment. Just like there's a secret compartment in my dining table. If you look close enough at the video, you can just see it. But the compartment, let me grab it. You might have seen it during the montage, but in the center of this tree are sliding dovetails for a compartment for you to write down what it is you're trying to manifest in your life. And have it come from the heart. something with a higher purpose, like the reason of being, your why, something to contribute and help contribute to the unfolding beauty of this present moment that we are currently existing in. That is what this is for. And this is just a simple affirmation, but more than that, this is an affirmation that asks the trees for assistance. Now hear me out. Trees have consciousness. Everything has consciousness. I think we'll eventually find out. There's just certain levels of complexity and ability to manipulate this dimension through the consciousness that exists within. But the trees are some of the wisest beings. And they have been gifting us their life's work to contribute to the evolution of us for a long time. And their ability to contribute in ways that are harder to detect has been really fun for me to observe. This is a long explanation of something that might be a bit woo-woo for some, but ultimately just write down what it is you wish, what it is you're trying to manifest, your future, and write it as if you own it in the present tense, as if it is right here with you. And then write thank you, in the law of acceptance. Right? Thank you as if you have it. And then set it and forget it. Put it in here. And there are some powerful words inscribed in here. And then know that every time you look at the table, be reminded of what it is you're doing, why it is you're doing. And when you're out and about and you see a tree, know that they are helping in ways that we cannot understand. We have to forget and let go of the what, how, and the when. That's our monkey mind trying to interfere with a process that's much different, much higher. So please utilize this. I believe the trees want to help. We have just forgotten how to ask. But this just comes from long conversations with trees over the years. They are some really unique creatures, like even these medullary rays. For example, we in the Western world try and understand what they do, and we theorize that they move minerals from the inside, the heartwood to sapwood. But in truth, we don't really know. We don't know much about plants in general, trees especially, because if we knew how photosynthesis worked, we'd be able to solve the climate change. If we knew how trees pump water uphill, we'd be able to solve the energy crisis, because pumping water uphill is the greatest, most efficient battery on the planet. That's why when you have excess from solar fields or coal plants, they send it to the hydro plants to pump water uphill to then run through at night. It's just simple potential energy added to the mass of the water, but the trees do it with millions of gallons a day up great spans. Some trees are really dang tall, and capillary action doesn't explain it. Capillary action will get you like 4 foot at max or something silly like that. I currently believe, because I spend a lot of time with trees and thinking about them, I think it has to do with the 4th phase of water, which is an amazing, brilliant book. You should pick it up. After you read it, you will be convinced that there is a 4th phase of water, which is a crystalline gel structure. Think of the water that forms around a chia seed when it gets wet. 4th phase water, expanding and growing with the infrared energy of the sun, so that's why it pumps during the day. And the structure, the hydrophilic structure that the cells are built upon, where they're very directional. And the final variable, which hopefully Western science will start taking more seriously, is consciousness. If a tree dies but is still standing, it is no longer pumping. It happens just like that. There should be no better evidence than that to say there is something higher, something more powerful, not in this physical dimension, that is doing that. So there's a good chance I am very wrong at the moment. But I believe we should really put more of our intent towards looking at nature and starting to learn from nature. I think she holds the secrets to a lot of our problems. And this concept of book matching a tree is so beautiful because it is just like that. We have opened the book. Here it is. Here's everything we need. It just is written in a language that we can't understand. But I appreciate the font. It is gorgeous. I wish I knew what it was trying to teach us, but golly, we can feel it. I know we can feel it. So here's hoping to the future of understanding of wood and movement of water, and hopefully photosynthesis as well. That'd be nice. Anywho, that was a long digression. I'm happy with this table.